But European Under-21 talk, if you want to know players of the European 21, we'll be talking a lot in this video, but put down below the players that you know and like this video for more detailed videos about certain topics like the Under-23 European Cup. So,
yes, but before we get started, just a quick little understanding. Some of these players are older than 21. Okay? The way the U21 Euros are set up is apparently anyone born after 2000 or something like that can actually play in this. I don't know if that's COVID related or if really this should be renamed the U23 Euros, but I guess U21 rang true. So we understand that not everybody in these lineups, they're all in the U21 Euros, but they're not all under 21. So, are we ready?
My defense, so with the Under-21 European players to watch, my defense of Under-21 European, my defense of the Under-21 European competition, my defense has Anatoly Trubin in goal. Then I have at the left Udogi with Scalvini and Debast at center back, and at the right I have Colwill. But I wanted to say Levi Colwill, but Scalvini for me edges, because he's a world-class potential too. I love Scalvini.
Yeah. I like a lot of those names, and that's the crazy thing. The point we're going to try and get across here is, if you're not watching the U21 Euros, there is a lot of talent at this tournament. A lot of talent sitting home, but a lot of talent at this tournament. So my defense, I'm going to go with the Dutch goalkeeper, Bart Verbruggen, who was phenomenal for Anderlecht late in the season. He's broken through there. Expected to make, I believe, a big move to Brighton. Thank you, Brighton, for getting back to their old transfer policy ways.
17 games in Belgium, in Belgian league.
Great, but I also am going to shout out Daniel Peretz. This is he saved. He's the Israeli goalkeeper. Saved not one, two penalties. I believe a Moukoko one against Germany, as they actually got a draw in their opener. But Bart Verbruggen is my goalkeeper. My left back, I'm going to go with Quilinci Hartman, another Dutchman that was part of Feyenoord's championship win. I'm going to go with Scalvini at center back because his first game was not great, but he is such a talent. My other center back is the man of controversy in that France-Italy game. It's going to be Castello Luqueba from France, although you could put the whole French team in this U21 thing. And my right back is one that has not yet, branched out, but I loved him in La Liga, and it's Arnau Martinez for Spain. Okay? I picked him over Colwill, man. Colwill did not have a great season for AC Milan. I think Colwill is a phenomenal player, but we'll see. Arnau Martinez is one to definitely watch. You know the other thing I saw, though? England. Did they play James Garner at right back?
And they played Max Aarons at left back. That was I wasn't expecting that from England.
It worked.
Being honest.
It worked.
It did, but I don't know if it's going to work with the big boy teams. England do have options, though. And you're mentioning England, and I do have an English player in my midfield. So my best midfield of the under-21 European Cup, it saddens me not to put João Neves, but I have Sandro Tonali. That shocks me that he's not in the first team of Italy. I have Manu Kone of Kefri Turam. Just pick yourself. And then I have Jacob Ramsey. That is such an underrated midfielder and a star for this under-21 team of England. But Charles the Ketzel is hard not to mention, being honest.
Yeah. Well, we did not go over these beforehand, and you and I have the exact same midfield. Manu Kone, Sandro Tonali, and Jacob Ramsey right there. All right.
João Neves will be one of the best. João Neves will be one of the best people. Please remember this name.
And there's two other 10s that I need to mention, and that's Fabian Reiter, who we probably won't talk about until he makes a move from Young Boys.
And Gravenberch.
But if you're looking on the Gravenberch, I like him. I can't wait to see him play more. I hope it happens. But Gravenberch, I love Gravenberch and Taylor in that midfield for the Dutch. I mean, I honestly, I believe they're a favorite. They could win this tournament. And I'm register my absolute shock and awe, especially with all the changes going on at AC Milan, that Sandro Tonali was allowed to not be with the Azzurri in the Nations League, because frankly, if he was there, I think they would have gone further, right? I think that's a mistake in Mancini's part. You're blooding this team for the future. Let Tonali get senior reps, not U21 captain reps. He's already proved that with AC Milan. Sandro Tonali deserved to be at the Nations League, not at the U21 Euros.
Fuck. That's so
and
well
then
said, Brett.
beyond that though, I mean France. Obviously, you mentioned Kefren Turam, Manu Kone, and there's another guy, Maxence Kakore, is just phenomenal. And if somebody doesn't poach him up from Lyon soon enough, then they're just dumb. And it should happen sooner rather than later. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned him in the midfield.
And you have others with Spain too. Gabri Veiga, which we believe he'll be moving this summer. And Antonio Blanco, that's one of the great Real Madrid players to watch. I really believe in this kid too. Great pass on him. Wanted to mention that. And it's fantastic to see Juan Miranda, I didn't even mention too, that he's in the Spanish national team, that he was in the under-17 World Cup when England won. He was in that team with Spain with Abel Ruiz, that too is in an under-21 European Cup. It's
the other thing, if you're going back and you're mentioning like left backs, the amount of solid center backs at this U21 Euros, and I know two of them haven't had the greatest opener, right? I was really, really excited to see Tomas Araujo play his first game, and I get it. From what I hear, it was one of the worst games he's had in a Portuguese shirt,
never seen him
let alone in his career. But I also know he's much better than that because I have seen him play, right? So I am still excited about him, even though he's going to get the game off due to his red card next game. But the other one that will likely make a move is another Dutchman, Mickey van de Ven, who broke out, benched, I believe, Maxence Lacroix. Mickey van de Ven was phenomenal for Wolfsburg this season, and has he's been pretty good. He helped shut out Belgium. But on the Belgian side, you've got Connie de Winter, who had, I think, the best opener out of any of the center backs in the entire U21 Euros, and he's one to watch for them. And then, I mean, it's just Loic Bade, like, you just won the Europa League. You were a star in that, and you got a red card too. So,
but Sevilla,
he's still one of the best.
Sevilla opted to pay the 12 million and stay with him. So Bade, great player from Sevilla too, and that's a great mention too. And just gonna say too, the Netherlands midfield: Gravenberch, Kenneth Taylor, and Quinton Timber. There's another Timber. It's not just Jurriën Timber. Right. Quinton Timber at Feyenoord, another player to watch, and with high potential too. So that's just mad.
You think Jurriën Timber winds up at Arsenal?
I think Arsenal do need a player like him. So yes, but it's not for 30 million. Definitely, it's for like 40 to 50. But if he doesn't go, he might be going to Man United. Look what happened with Lisandro Martinez. We all recall that links with Arsenal, Lisandro, and look what end up. But my front trio of the Under-21 World Cup, my front trio of the Under-21 European Cup, I have at Openda, one of the great forwards in Ligue 1 this season. I have Sergio Gomes, a European treble winner that is playing at winger. And I have a striker. It was a very hard decision, but I have Kali Mwendo of Stade Rennes, another player that had high importance for his team in Liga and at first team level. That's my front trio.
all I can say is if Kali Mwendo, Enzo Lefebvre, if Enzo Lefebvre goes to Stade Rennais, that rhymes. It's perfect. There's a chant right there. That would be huge, and that's what we're hearing so far. Is Enzo Lefebvre there? That would be ridiculous. Yeah. So, but my forward three, we have one in common in my forward three. My forward three at left wing is going to be Sergio Gomez. Sergio Gomez at left wing. No, my striker is going to be somebody different, and you might be surprised, but he's doing it on both fronts. And my striker is Zeki Amdouni. Okay, for Switzerland. He has scored 5 goals, 5 caps for the Swiss national team. Okay, for the senior team. He's got 4 goals in his 4 Euro qualifiers that he has played for them. Okay, and on top of that, he's coming down. I think he came off the bench for this game because he had just played and scored 2 goals in a Euro qualifier a couple days earlier. But Zeki Amdouni had 22 goals for Basel last year, and Basel, I think people are forgetting, were Europa Conference League semifinalists. They had a crappy domestic campaign, but Zeki Amdouni has only really come on in 2023. Phenomenal striker. If you don't know him, he has nothing to do with Artur Cabral, but he is Basel's next Artur Cabral. He's their next big signing elsewhere. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Fiorentina dips their toes in and says, hey, this guy scored 2 goals against us, even though we beat him, sign him. Right? But Zeki Amdouni is somebody to watch in this one because he is only 22 and he's just breaking out. So we'll see if he could.
Zeki Amdouni, strikers to watch in the Under-20 European Trophy. You got Zeki Amdouni, Moukoko, Pietro Pellegrini. You got Calimundo, Openda, Fabio Silva, Vitinha. So much talent to watch. It's just crazy. Just crazy. And I just hope Fabio Silva plays more.
Me too. 100%. I do have and Brian Brelby. I mean, there's so many on all ends here. But the thing about Zeki Amdouni is Turkish U21 international for like a couple games until he switched. I don't know if there was ever a chance for Turkey to pull him away. Okay. But all I kept thinking was, wow, Arda Güler is coming along at a really good time and a really good clip for the Turkish national team. Imagine if they had a guy like Zeki Amdouni up top to be the beneficiary of a lot of what Güler creates. And then I got sad for Turkey because, they don't have him and Switzerland has him. So Zeki Amdouni is definitely one to watch.
Well, Turkey got Arda Güler that's going to leave reportedly for the release clause of 17.5 million and Orkun Koksu at 22. So Turkey midfield, they're cooking something right there. They're cooking something right there. And I wanted to say, I didn't know this player before. I checked the tape with Belgium, with Netherlands, and very interesting left back, Maxime of Westerlo.
Yes.
In the league, he's got 9 goals, 7 assists. I didn't know a lot about him, and a lot of teams that need a left wing back that plays like him. Very good offensively. Pay attention to this player in the Belgium team. Please.
Yeah, and listen, Club Brugge already has Bjorn Meyer, young Dutch left back. But you've got other, Anderlecht, Standard Liège is trying to revamp their squad. He likely will go to a higher team in the Pro League before he moves on, but Maxim de Kuiper has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I love it in Westerlo. I watched them a lot this season because Brian Reynolds it was on loan. He was their right back when De Kuiper was their left back, and they formed a formidable duo. Some of the best fullbacks in the league. So anyway, my attack, I got to go through it really quickly. Sergio Gomez at left wing. My strike force is Zeki Amdouni, and my right wing, I am going to still say Pedro Neto, because I still think it's bonkers that he's there. But if he's there, I think he'll cook over time. But it is also weird not to say a guy like Michael Olise, because he's there too.
He's there too. Oh my days, I should put Olise. Oh my days, I should put Olise. But we have to say Olise was the top teenager in terms of assists in the top 5 leagues. Michael Olise for sure deserves a move this summer. I would love to see him maybe in a PSG rebuild or even getting the spotlight in Newcastle with Tonali, Bruno Guimarães, Joelinton as options in midfield. That would be crazy. Wanted to say that. So my Under-23 Euros players to watch. I got in goal Anatoly Trubin with left back Udogi, then Scalvini and Debast at center back, and at the right I have Kalulu. Then my 3 in midfield I have Tonali, I have Manu Kone, and I have Jacob Ramsey. Underrated. Please, but João Neves was hard not to pick. In my top trio, I had Openda, I have Calimundo, and I have Sergio Gomes. And I wanted to mention Fabio Silva. Then please give him more minutes. Talent to watch.
Do it.
That's my Under-21 Euros team.
All right. My whole 11 is goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen, left back Quilinci Hartman, center backs are Scalvini and Lukeba. Right back is Arno Martinez. And my 3 midfielders, Manu Kone, Sandro Tonali, Jacob Ramsey, sounds familiar. My attack is Sergio Gomez on the left. We've got Zeki Amdouni up top, and we've got Pedro Neto on the right side. But listen, I do have to mention one last guy. He did not have a great first game, but if you're watching the Israeli national team, if you're watching Red Bull Salzburg next season, watch out for Oscar Glauc, because he's taking He's taken a lot of Salzburg fans by storm. I mean, they love him. They're very high on him. I think we get more comments about him on our Twitter than probably any other player. So either that or he's got a good marketing department. But no, if you watch Oscar Glauc, he's much younger than the majority of these players at this U21 Euros. He is a very, very good playmaker that could make the leap to Leipzig. If Szoboszlai decides to move on. Szoboszlai. So I really, really enjoy watching Glauc play, and I enjoy that we get more U21 Euros. They're only one game through, so keep watching.
It's true, and I wanted to mention final player on my end, Pietro Pellegrini, a player that in the past moved to Monaco with a high potential, but that potential remains. Not as high maybe, but Pietro Pellegrini, after injuries, he was bought by Torino for 5 million to replace a player like Belotti that went to Roma, and let's wait and see what he can make in his career. He's still under 22, Pietro Pellegrini, and Italy do need a striker next to Nocto in the future, because Nocto, what a player.
Seriously, another player that is at the U21 Euros. He is at the U21 Euros. He was also with the senior national team, I think, and he should have started, but Mancini decided not to start him. But anyway, he should do really well there. And the funny thing is, I think one of the first players you and I ever talked when we met, was actually Pietro Pellegrini, right? He was there was him and it was one other player, I forget, maybe Pinamonti or one of the old, they're not old, but one of the guys that Pellegrini got, Esposito, yeah. Pellegrini got his start when he was 15, right? He got his first minutes. 15, he was really,
16,
really young.
16 he was playing, I remember. 16. I remember he was playing in Genova at the time, at 16.
And that would have been right around the time you and I started chatting.
Chatting
there you
about
go.
Football. But people, put down below your under 23 Euros ballers to watch. We want to see in the comment section your opinions, and like this video for more videos just like this.